going. We're rolling. Hey, another week and more fun. We're shooting another podcast episode, Fast and Furious, this week. And we're actually really excited. We have special guests today, as you can tell. We actually had to just slow down all of our banter and conversation to get down to business and start recording the episode. So anyways, really happy to have the folks from Allstate joining us this week. And I'll go ahead and let yourselves introduce yourselves.
Thanks very much. We appreciate you guys having us. I'm Eric Almasy. I am the Field Vice President for the individual product lines at Allstate Health Solutions, formerly National General Insurance Company. A lot of people don't know that, but we were purchased as National General by Allstate Health Solutions, by Allstate, let's say, in January of 2021. And we've basically kept the same portfolio since that time, same commission, same contracts, products, et cetera, same people. We just have a new name, Allstate Health Solutions. So we're happy to be here. Thanks for having us.
Yep. Mary, you're up.
Yeah, Mary Steele. I'm a regional sales manager. I've been with the company now. It'll be 6 years this October. Eric and I have worked together in this territory, and it's a fun job. We love our agents.
Cool. My name is Rory Gregg. So I'm the regional sales manager of senior products. So I'm the Medicare dude for the team. So been in the industry for about 14 years and a little over a year now with Allstate Health, and it is the best group of people I have ever worked with. It's an awesome team of people.
I bet you say that to everybody.
I was going to say that was a very good handoff too of the microphone since you guys didn't break it there. Back
Yeah.
so good,
No worries.
Good job, kudos there,
camaraderie.
Rory, on that.
You got it.
Fantastic. Yeah. So we appreciate the whole crew being here today, and obviously, like they mentioned, it's representing pretty much national distribution as well as health products, senior products, everything all combined into one. Which is fantastic.
We say
You do.
cradle to grave.
We got the dream team here. Exactly. So we absolutely love it. Good. I love that analogy too. Cradle to grave. We got it all. So you guys are in town. Obviously, you guys did a training for us yesterday out in front doing a Topgolf event. Let's talk about that a little bit.
We have a really great agent base in Utah. We're really lucky to work with a lot of very dedicated and talented agents, and most importantly, agents who do things the right way. And this seems like everybody lives here that. With the people that live here are really great agents for us. So we wanted to give our updates. We do this on an annual basis. We'll come here and touch base with everybody, let them know what's going on in the portfolio, what's going on in the industry. And one of the things we really do well, I think, as a team is we create selling stories, and we try to make things tangible for the agents to pass along to their customers. We really believe that the relationship between the agent and the customer is incredibly important, and we want to protect that, and by helping that relationship continue generationally from generation to generation, it continues down the line.
Yep.
Well, let me add to that. The training doesn't stop here. So my job, I work on the under 65 market. As Rory said, he does the over 65. And we recruit, train, educate, retain our brokers. So we are here to give the service to these agents. We call it the red carpet, white glove experience. We call out to our brokers, and the training, recruiting, answering questions just never ends. So it's part of the job that I love the most.
Yeah, and I would even echo to that too. I mean, we all, our organization just got involved with you guys over the last year. It was last year when we kind of got a contract, and it was more going back to that question of, National General and NatGen that everybody was selling and understanding that sits within Allstate now, that I think even I at least didn't understand that. And I would just say even the last year working with you all, we've experienced that we do, even to creating like a microsite experience for us on the FMO side, or, the way you treat brokers, the way you're accommodating with training and how you treat partners and agents. I would very much echo and say we've had a very great experience with you all.
I appreciate you saying that. We really believe that the role of the agent should be to be the guide. It's important, I think, for agents to understand their role in the transaction. The customer is always the hero, and in our case, the customer is the agent. Our agents are our customers, and our job is to make you look good to your customer. And being the guide is an important role, because people look for trusted advisors. That's really what this is. And products aside, it's really about trust, and we try to help our agents build that trust with their customers.
We try to make it selling business with us as easy as possible. We're an insurance company. Things are complicated. The products are complicated. The enrollment's complicated. Even the customers' scenarios are complicated. So We help them all the way through the quoting process, right to enrollment.
Well, you even do one-on-one trainings for agents. A lot of our agents have come to us and said, hey, Mary is awesome. She did a one-on-one call with me, went through all the products. I had no idea what I was doing, and I was able to write it after doing a one-on-one training with her. Not every company will do a one-on-one with
A couple of
any
my
agent.
favorite things to do is when a new agent comes on with us, I make a welcome call. Say, welcome to Allstate Health Solutions. Let's set up that training call to run through our quoting portal, our products, whatever you need. And then when they make that first sale, I'll call them again and say, thanks for the first piece of business. Now, what else? What other training do you need? Here's some other products that we have. So we continue all the way down. You know, as long as people are contracted with us, we'll continue to recruit, train, educate, and retain that book of business.
Yeah, and that engagement's important, right? Like that engagement and recognizing and saying, hey, you wrote that plan. Thank you. Let's engage more. How can we go deeper? Because you know the numbers. If you get one person to write a plan, then you can get them to write 10 plans and 100 plans and build on that momentum, right?
The number is 3, by the way, we've realized. If
Yeah.
you get someone to write 3 policy, 1 can be a fluke, 2 can be
A family member.
a family. Yeah. But really, the trust is what you're talking about. When
Yeah.
you realize, hey, I can do this and do it repeatedly and rely on it for an income, that's really where the win is. And
Yeah.
we want agents to get to that point because I was an agent myself for a long time before I started working for NatGen and Allstate. And you have to rely on certain products to pay your bills. Like there's your first priority on a Monday is to build that, okay, how am I going to pay my bills this week or this month as an individual producer? Then if you can rely on that, then you can grow from there. And that's how we all grow in the business. But we have to start with the essentials, and we want to be that critical product. That's what
Yeah.
we try to do.
We want to fit into the agents, the products that they're selling.
That
So that's-
ecosystem, yeah.
Yeah.
I would say one thing I want to go back to that you said so well that I think you guys actually get it, that maybe other carriers, I would say payers or partners of ours sometimes don't understand, is your customer is sometimes the agent, and right, and if you can win over that agent relation and actually make the experience easy for the broker or the agency, then they're going to go sell the volume. So often we talk to insurance companies who they create these wonderful products, right? And the product is great, and all they're thinking about is the consumer, that end user, that consumer that's going to have this great product, but it never gets into their hands. It never gets to them because they make the experience so miserable or challenging, or they don't understand why they need distribution, or they don't pay appropriately for it, or they don't, there's something broken in that supply chain that their excellent product never gets to market.
Or confusion. I think that's might be the biggest problem because the agent's job is to simplify that. And that's why they're so important. You could put out a product and talk to the industry people and we'll all understand what you're doing, but people don't know what deductibles are. They don't know what coinsurance is. They don't know the difference between copays and coinsurance. If you're in this business, you'll be explaining that until the day you exit. I'm convinced of it. So yeah, I agree with you. The confusion though is something that we really try to eliminate as best as possible.
Yeah, and I think even from a technology perspective, though, you guys have made it very good on the agency side and for the agent. The experience and agents are very much creatures of habit, right? They're always going to follow that path of least resistance too. And when you make a product easy to understand, easy to kind of position to go to market with and sell more volume, the easier it is, the more they're going to do. And I think you've done a very good job from a technology and experience perspective.
Thank you.
Too.
I'm glad to hear that.
Well, especially easy to quote and enroll. If they don't know how to quote and enroll, how is an agent going to sell our products to their members?
Yep.
So that's where we come,
Yep.
we give them that red carpet, white glove experience.
Yep. And one of the things that I would just say too, we like, and it was one of the reasons that we, when we're looking at a portfolio of, carriers or products that we want to have and offer our agents, we feel like we don't have to have everything under the sun, and you can't do that well. You just can't. So we always have to kind of, say, what kind of product lines does this carrier have? Is it good for the consumer? Can we actually sell volume of this? What is the experience going to be like? And one of the things that we really like is, cradle to grave. You guys have products for the broker that's out there selling only on ACA or under 65 individual products. You also have senior products. So for us, it gives us a very diverse selling portfolio as well. So maybe spend a few minutes and talk about the senior products, the individual products, maybe the STM with NatGen and some other exciting products that we were chatting about that I just learned about as well.
Yeah, we can definitely talk about the products. I think what we always try to do is make it so what I always urge agents to ask first is ask your customers, why are you buying insurance today? Because we do have a diverse portfolio, but products are just there to solve. They're tools in a toolbox. So what's the problem you're trying to solve? What's broken? What are you trying to fix? And that will kind of help guide what products make the most sense. So as far as our individual under 65 portfolio, we have a short-term medical product that is currently available for durations up to 3 full years. And that will change shortly with an executive order that's come out. But the product is currently available until the end of August. And it's our flagship product that helped to build our company. It is our core product for under 65. And for the right person, it is a very good product. For the wrong person, it is not. So it's really important that our agents ask the right questions, do a really appropriate probing so that they make sure the customer who's buying it is a good fit for that. So that is our core product. We also have a full suite of under 65 ancillary products, accident plans. We have a gap product called the Plan Enhancer, which I feel is a very, very good gap product. It covers accidents. It covers sicknesses that put you in the hospital, and it covers cancer, heart attack, and stroke diagnoses all with one product. And it's completely guaranteed issue, which means you can sell it for healthy clients and also ACA clients, people that don't necessarily have perfect health. It's a perfect gap product, and that can solve a lot of problems that customers will have. As well as a dental portfolio, we have critical illness products. We can dive deeper into the specifics of it, but we have a lot of ways to plug holes and to help clients assign risk where it belongs. I mean, if you think about what insurance is, it's the assignment of risk. Yep. Do you want to carry, Jeff, do you want the risk, or do you want to pass it on to the insurance company?
Of course you want to pass it on to the insurance company.
But it depends on the price.
Right.
And you have to figure out what exactly is the best blend, and that's what we help our agents do. So that's kind of the landscape of what we do on the under 65
Well, I think
side.
people just listening to what you said, where would short-term make sense for someone?
So usually a short-term medical client is someone who does not get a subsidy or a large subsidy on the marketplace. They may make too much money. They may not be eligible for other reasons. Maybe there's a group plan available through a spouse, but they don't want to take it for whatever reason. Somebody who's definitely somebody who's healthy and
could also be someone who isn't a U.S. citizen.
Someone who's not a U.S. citizen could still buy this. What about a lot of people have children that go to college in other states? Right. Well, most of the ACA plans are HMOs. HMO plans have in-network coverage only if you're in the network, you get coverage.
Right.
But emergencies are covered only out of network or out of state. So our product is a national network. It's a national we have a Cigna and an Aetna network, which have a lot of centers of excellence in the network around the country. So that child could be a dependent on the parent's plan and still use it in another state where we don't even offer the product.
It's like a great chassis for it.
Great chassis for
We
that.
also offer those products as child only.
Yeah.
So
Which again is kind of, I mean, we're having a podcast talking about it. I mean, I would say we all here in this room take issue with the classification of calling it junk insurance, right? Like I take issue with it because, we just outlined very clear and good use cases as to, well, when does this make sense for a consumer? And the coverage and the benefit is great, and you have a great chassis and you have a great network built, and the product and the consumer understands it and the broker understands it, and we're all being adults and shopping a marketplace and buying products that make sense for us. Right. Obviously I haven't been too enthusiastic about that executive order, but I think there's objectives and reasons why they're trying to push more people into the marketplace to make it sustainable, which I think is unfortunate for some of these coverages and products that I think are great.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing is there are a lot of customers where this is a very, very good product and there's really not a replacement for it. So they're going to be disadvantaged on that, which, all these things are really out of our control. And what we've always done is still try to find solutions for people. We'll continue to innovate. We'll continue to develop new products, new solutions for people. So, it is what it is. And that's part of being an insurance agent. I mean, any one of us that's been in this business longer than a year has seen change. Yeah. I mean, that's the only constant is change. And we've always, that's how we operate. So we just bob and weave. We just keep finding new avenues and new solutions for people because there's a need. If there weren't a need, people wouldn't buy the product.
Well, there kind of is a solution right now. If you want a short-term medical plan and you write it before September 1st, you can have it for 3 years, which I think for viewers out there who might have a child at, a different college in a different state, this is an opportunity for you this summer to jump on one of these plans. And it's a lot more affordable for you.
And people who have them currently are grandfathered, right?
Yes,
They are.
correct.
That's a big point I wanted to bring up. So if you've gotten one of these products that work and they're great, you're still safe. You're good on that. Even though this executive order is going into effect September 1, if you have one actively and current, keep paying those premiums. Stay active. You
Yeah,
can keep it for the next 3 years, right?
You can rewrite people that are about to expire if you want to.
That's a big tip for you listening. You can rewrite it.
Yeah, you can absolutely rewrite it, and it will continue uninterrupted until the end. And for 3 full years, we actually offer a rate guarantee on those products too. So it's one of the only ways you can get rate certainty. I mean, I don't think you can get it with any group plans or ACA plans where the rate is locked for 3 years guaranteed. We offer that right now.
And that 3-year rate lock brings in the member at issue age. So that means, if they jump age brackets, we do a 5-year age bracket increase if you weren't on a fixed rate plan. So those become 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60.
Yep.
You lock somebody in at 49, they
they're
get to
banded
keep,
there,
they have
yeah.
a 49 rate for three years, have
Yeah.
fixed rate.
It's
So-
pretty generous, candidly, which is also great, And let's talk maybe a little bit too about the, Rory in the hot seat, the senior products too for, and actually before we go there, I was going to say one thing that's key. We talk about it in concept and theory, and then sometimes brokers don't understand the practical implementation of it. We were talking about, like, I use attachment rate as a big thing with brokers. If you're selling Medicare products or you're selling ACA products, well, the LTVs or the value of your ACA product has been challenging these last 2 years, to say the very least. With so much fraud and everything else. And when you're trying to run a business and have it pencil out, the way that some of the big organizations are actually making their money is not on the ACA as the core product. They're making their money on all the ancillaries and all the attachment products, the indemnity products, the cancer products, the dental, those gap products. That's where their profitability actually comes in. They pay their bills, they keep the lights on by selling the ACA products that are really volatile, and their actual profit that they're making is off of those ancillary products.
Well, it's kind of like when you go to Las Vegas, right? And you're going to a real nice casino, but you're trying to find your way to the really great restaurant, right? But where do you always have to go to get to the fancy
You got
restaurant?
to walk through the casino.
You got to go through the
And usually
casino.
you want to be by Mary, because when I was
Yes,
in Vegas
absolutely.
a couple months ago, she hit a jackpot.
She's in
Yep,
the wrong
no,
business.
we call her the lucky box for sure. But yeah, great analogy, right? It's like you want to get to that 5-star restaurant, but you got to go through the casino to get there. So that's your ancillary products. You're going to pull that slot. You're going to put $5 in that machine. She's going to be the one that wins always. But hey, exactly. It's all that add-on, that add value.
Well, and there's also the statistics too and the data that shows, like, when you can kind of bundle and create like a coverage package where you have a core base product and then you have a couple ancillaries with it, it cohesively creates like a very good coverage model. And the more products, the stickier the consumer, right? And the more that they stay.
It's a huge point. The loyalty you get by having multiple products changes the perception from this is a sales guy to this is my agent.
Yep.
And this is my trusted advisor. And that's where we all, as agents, want to be.
Yeah.
And attachment definitely creates a good environment, and referrals come from that too.
Well,
crazy, lots of referrals.
And you go from completing a transaction
Right.
to being an agent, their agent that they trust. And of course, they sometimes won't understand like how, or they'll forget how this product is kind of dovetailed or working with their other product. And having that agent, be able to remind them and explain to them, of course, is very key.
It
right?
is.
A
Also
lot of-
claims as well. If somebody has an accident and the accident plan pays and covers their deductible, that person is never canceling that policy.
Right.
And they're going to tell their family to get it, and they're going to have them call you to write it for them. It happens all the time.
I was just going to mention that. Our accident plans, our sickness hospitalization plans couple so well with the ACA
Plan
products.
Enhancer. It's our
Plan
number one product we
Enhancer.
sell with you guys.
Plan
right now.
Enhancer,
Yep.
absolutely.
So, a lot of times those members don't realize that out of pocket, that $9,500 out of pocket. Well, we have a $9,500 accident plan. You can add a sickness hospitalization if you were hospitalized.
How much is that on average, Mary? Like we'll just
So
go
I
off
use-
of Colorado or Utah rates or.
Yeah, we were talking just this morning at our Top Golf event that you can get a family on an accident plan. $5,000 benefit is $25 a month for unlimited accidents, $5,000 per accident, all members in the family, whether there's 2 or 10 people in that family.
Super reasonable. And especially when you're looking at, ACA plans and higher deductibles and other options like that.
There's riders to add on to
Very
give you
reasonable.
even more coverage. There's so many products that you can build it for your clients' needs.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that we spoke about yesterday during our training, and we have our on-the-record conversations and our off-the-record conversations, but we talked about, sometimes technology and platforms is becoming increasingly important, and agents, we've noticed there's a portion of agents who are really dynamic, who can have multiple tabs open and screens and kind of quote and we go back and forth between systems and build it. But then there's a lot of agents who are just, they want to be a one-trick pony. They want to go to one place, click a few buttons, have everything in a single pane, so to speak, to make their lives easy. And I think you guys are making some steps to put more of those products in some of these platforms so that it's easier to do business, right?
Yeah, we are. You talk about Sherpa. So we have an arrangement with.
I was alluding, but
It's still pending.
I was
CMS.
letting him be
It's still pending
the hero
CMS
here.
approval, but we believe it's going to go forward. We're hoping it does. And again, you're right. People don't, and your customers might hang up if you have to go to two platforms, and if you're not quick to move from one tab to the next. It's really important, we think, to have the conversation about the holistic view of insurance. Why are you buying insurance? And everything is part of that same package. So you help them use their premium dollars most efficiently. I think that's the number one role of the guide, the agent. So if you can help them do that and explain how they work together, it's a much better way than selling it later. I mean, you don't want to be, when you buy a car, you go in there, they tell you how great the car is, you buy the car, and then they take you to that other room and tell you how it's going to break down if you don't buy the warranty. So now you feel like, oh, now I got to pay more money. I just gave you way too much for the car. If you have the holistic conversation, that's one conversation versus those two, which can contradict and affect the
Well, there's so many
attachment rate.
ACA clients that don't understand what their out-of-pocket really is.
right.
So
Their
it's-
exposure really, right?
Can they really afford to have a sickness or accident? That $9,500, that's a lot of money for a lot of people. And even if you do have that kind of money, don't you want the insurance company to pay that bill?
Right.
And when these products are that inexpensive to put on and help protect against those,
Right,
those
and-
medical expenses.
And I would say if like any sort of like a regulator or anybody listens to this podcast and hears about it, it's more, we would advocate for that and saying, we want your products to be on like a Sherpa platform and all those other platforms too, because again, an insurance agent, their job, they want to give good guidance and counsel and be a fiduciary and say, hey, here's really your exposure with this plan, which a lot of people don't know. And if you can click a few buttons, add and build that into the quote and make the process easy, they did a great job.
And faster too.
Exactly. It's efficient. And at the end of the day, the insurance agent just wants to take care of their client, right? And do the right thing. And right now, if it's not, it's challenging. And we only know that a certain percentage of the agents are able to navigate those systems and processes efficiently to do a great job. So the easier we make it for them, the better we actually do for the consumer. And we all win.
Well, everything happens November, December.
Right.
It's OEP. You got your ACA plans. You got AAP for the seniors.
Yep.
So who has an extra few minutes to get on another platform? So this could be game changing.
Especially
Right.
adding dental.
Right.
That's a missing factor
Dental,
on a lot of the time
accident,
that people aren't getting. And then
critical
they're just going
illness
online. Yep.
plans.
Being able to add it onto any plan really will be a big advantage for you guys being on there.
Yeah.
And then talk
And
a
the
little bit about,
brokers.
while we're talking about dental, talk about your three different dental products.
Yeah, we have co-insurance plans, the traditional type co-insurance plans, but none of our plans have a waiting period. So we have graduated benefits. So they get better the longer the member has the plan. And these are PPO dental plans, but our hottest seller is our copay plans. We have a copay plan. It's called our Copay 2 plan, no wait and no max for your clients. So it does require network. It's a PPO, but we really highly, highly recommend using the network of dentists. It's the Aetna Dental Administrators Network. And we'll tell agents all day long if their dentist isn't in a network, sell a different product. But
And we did that yesterday
it worked.
in the training. We
looked-
pulled it up, and there was almost no dentist that it wasn't accepting. It
Right.
was crazy.
Yeah, it's a
network.
huge network.
Massive, especially here in Utah.
And I
Yeah.
would say I'm glad you brought up the dental and we're talking about it, because I think one thing that's happened is brokers have sold other dental products in the past that are just kind of junk. And they are, meaning that they had exclusions, they had waiting periods, limited benefits, 50-50 cost sharing. What they're actually getting is not a lot. And then when you start seeing, and there's also like this a Visas or like whatever network it is that they had for dental, and it was pretty limited, then you're like, oh, now not only are the benefits not great, but then I can't even access and use the dental plan. Right. And that's happened. And what happens is when a broker sells a crap product like that to their client and the client goes to use it and it sucks, then they're going, I've got a bad agent. This sucks. It tarnishes the relationship that the agent has with
for
the
everyone,
client, right?
For the carrier, the agent, everyone is hurt by it. So
just set expectations. That's the rule, I think. I mean, if you're willing to find an in-network provider, that plan is unbelievable. It's very rare in the market as well. It's our best seller, as Mary said right now. It does need to be sold with one other product, but
any other product?
Is it in all 50?
No, it's in
our major states.
The major markets, yeah.
But you do get a discount when you pair it.
So you put another product in.
Yes.
You can put the lowest cost product that we have might be $8 to $10. You put it on with your dental product, and you still get the 15% discount on the dental.
So the net premium can be lower with the attachment with the two products versus the dental without the discount.
And I know everyone listening right now has got one question. Implants, are they covered?
On our dental vision hearing product, it is, but not on the under 65.
And can they do this on the over 65 on the supplement?
So yeah, DVH is what we have.
Yeah.
So yeah, pivoting from the U65 dental to the DVH. So cradle to grave, right? So when we have people that naturally graduate into aging in, but it's technically a 55 plus product. So it could be sold as a standalone. So our dental vision hearing is a PPO, true PPO, like all of our products, same network. The vision is a la carte, so they can choose to add our low high plan. It's just like an extra 10 or 19 bucks on a month. And again, when you're taking that whole health approach, you're selling them their MedSup, their MAPD, and then you want to cover the basis for them for, especially with the MedSup, because it's not going to cover your glasses, it's not going to cover your dental. And then you can present the DVH, great network, great benefits, expansive network of doctors. And then it's going to cover all graduated benefits. So our level 2 plan covers everything, including dentures. Level 3 covers everything, including dentures and implants. And then it's got the Amplifon hearing discount that's baked into the plan, as well as our MedSups. But it can be sold as a standalone product for 55 and above. So if someone says dentures, someone says implants, then if they're in the right age bracket, you can sell them that product as well. And when they bundle it with a MedSup, they also get, as of right now, they get a 10% off discount. And then in July, we're increasing that to a 15% attachment discount.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, and I think it's timely. And part of the reason I was like, hey, you're in the hot seat, you're in the spotlight right now, is we're already educating all of our distribution agents and agencies about, we're all expecting and anticipating a significant decrease in benefits for Medicare Advantage this coming AEP.
Yep.
We've talked about it a lot on this podcast about the call letter and TBC and how Medicare Advantage plans are built and the reimbursement rates for next year. So knowing that, hey, there might be a lot of your clients who have these very sexy additional benefits right now with dental, vision, hearing. We're anticipating that a lot of those get whacked and significantly cut. So do you have clients that really have high utilization there that want to pick up that extra product? And so for me, thinking about practicality, hey, as you're calling those clients and even doing like a client review for AEP.
Annual review.
Exactly. Yep. Why not, if you're going to have to meet with them anyway, talk to them on the phone or meet with them at the kitchen table, whatever it may be, why not have that conversation and walk away, hey, do you have exposure? Did you have this reduced benefit? Were you using your dental? Were you using your vision? Perfect. I got this product. What, 15, 20 bucks a month?
Utilization management, especially when it comes to MAPD plans, is tracked extremely, and they look at that every year. Right. And they go to bids, so after AEP is done, then they get into the ROI or the Medicare OEP. And of course, in the Medicare OEP, you don't get as much action as AEP naturally. Right. You get a lot of people that miss the boat. Maybe they're in their GEP, general enrollment period, or they just made a mistake. So they want to change their plans or change back to their plan or look at other options like coming back to original Medicare with MedSup. So great opportunities in the ROI to kind of explore that. But then we know all the carriers are going right to the bid war at that point. And then we come in here to June. As of right now, the lockbox is already closed. So, and then come 10/1, then we get to see all the plans presented. So with all the changes coming down the pike this year, as we know, and I'm sure you guys have spoken, like you said, in your other shows, Inflation Reduction Act, a lot of ACA changes, MedSup changes, PDP changes. Yeah, extra benefits and services are notably going to be cut with a lot of plans. So that's where they have to trim the fat or chase the pennies.
Right.
So back when I was in the field for a long, long time, the black and white on paper of the dental services on the plans, because many people will be, oh, I have a dental plan with my MAPD plan. Well, it's not a standalone dental plan. It's a benefit. It's a service, an extra benefit, a service of your plan. And as we know, it doesn't always jive well for everyone. Maybe Dr. Smith, who's their dentist for life, that's Dr. Smith has treated their whole family, and it's their first time aging into a plan. They get a plan that has a really sexy amount of dental services on paper in the MAPD kit, but then they call Dr. Smith, and he's like, I don't accept that benefit.
Right.
Now I have to change dentistries. Now I have to go to, and I hate to say strip mall dentistries, but a lot of our MAPD dentistries are franchise dentistries, chain dentistries.
It's okay. We call it like it is on this podcast.
I like that. It's okay. I didn't say any names. But yeah, so when I was on the windshield for 12 plus years, I actually sold a ton of dental plans because I knew my landscape. I knew my network, and whatever zip code I was going to, I knew where the doctors were and weren't. And then I knew once I had that needs analysis conversation, when I got to those benefits, just flat out ask the prospective member, who is your dentist? Are you established with a dentist? If they are, find out who they are, find out if they're in network. The majority of the time, unfortunately, they wouldn't be. But then I would leverage that moment to pivot and sell them a standalone dental plan.
Sure.
Well, hey, we know you have this benefit on your MAPD plan. We know your doctor's not in network. That's your choice in the future. If you want to change out of the network and express that benefit, you're free to do that. But you want to stick with your doctor, let's get a good plan that can cover your current doctor in the PPO network. And you've just created another nice upsell path there, too.
For the dental. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and I think one thing that I want to add and just throw on people's radar as they're looking forward to, even if you haven't sold a lot of ancillaries and dental and other products in the past, it's going to become more increasingly important because, again, going to the call letter next year, there's a provision to where these carriers now have to send out utilization letters throughout the year to say, hey, you've either used or not utilized your dental benefit or whatever that may be. What that's going to do is, when carriers create, especially on Medicare Advantage plans, their products, they're counting and banking on a very low percentage of utilization. Well, now when you have to remind people of their benefit, they're going to utilize it more. It's going to spike utilization, and so the benefit amounts are going to be decreasing from Medicare Advantage plans.
So you and I know a lot about what the call letters are.
Yes.
Let's explain that a little bit more for the audience so they understand what's behind the scenes with that.
Yeah.
So, with all the changes in the government, what he's explaining is like there's going to be this new more or less tracking device of the percentage of that utilization management. Whether it could be dental, hearing, over-the-counter benefit.
Your utility card now, your grocery card. Yeah.
Flex cards, right?
Yes.
Everyone loves the flex cards. We're going to see, unfortunately, we're going to see a lot of that going away. Silver sneakers, et cetera. So in the future now, when they trim these benefits, they can build them back as they chase the pennies.
Right.
Or to gain their momentum back, from the bottom line, they're going to have to look hard and fast at those numbers.
Yes.
And what we're basically saying is like, hey, if you're not using it, you're going to lose it.
Correct.
Use it or lose it.
And there are a lot of and also you're seeing plans that have a whole suite of those benefits, meaning that an HMO or a PPO plan has 8 of those. We call them the sexy benefits, tied to it.
Sizzle.
Yeah, exactly. And they're fuego, right? But we always say that you're going to not utilize all of them, and you might even start seeing Medicare Advantage plans that now, hey, this particular PPO has 4 of these. This PPO plan over here has these different 4, and they might start segmenting those more. And so I think that the broker and agent community is going to have to be cognizant of that and start being more intentional with the products that they're putting their clients on, and then having to build in other coverage solutions for them. And so I think that they haven't maybe had to do that over the last 3 or 4 or 5 years, and they're going to have to start doing that moving forward a little bit.
And I think we're going to see, like in many states, like my home state in Florida, it's like hitting the Medicare Advantage lottery, right?
0000. It's a Santa Claus plan. We say everything's free.
But surprisingly so, there are small premiums on some MAPD plans there. But that's where, like MedSup products are also very fashionable too, because if it comes down to network discrepancy,
Yep.
that's where we have to always tilt the scale in the conversation when you're doing that needs analysis of, is the MAPD plan the right fit, or is the MedSup plan the right fit? If they start talking about certain networks, certain specialists, certain doctors, and it's hard to make all the stars align on every.
You're talking access to care, right? And
Correct.
where can you access? And a lot of those MAPD plans, like you're talking about, have 50%. They meet network adequacy, but they're really not going to give you a lot of coverage option, right?
So what we start to see in many other states is you see optional OSBs, optional supplemental benefits. So I think I can foresee as they trim down, a lot of these extra benefits and services like dental and other, I think they're going to start making more and more states adopting those optional supplemental benefits. So when you get to the checkout path of signing up for an MAPD plan, you can add an OSB. So let me add the extra dental coverage for $10 a month.
Yep.
So there's ways they're going to be able to gain back incremental premium to support those programs, and
Makes
then
sense.
maybe beef
Makes
up the
perfect
benefits.
sense.
Yeah, it's great. And talk to us a little bit about, like, obviously MedSup and pricing and the competitive nature of it. I think that overall every state is a little bit different, but I think in general the pricing on your MedSup is very competitive compared to others. And, a lot of it is a G is a G plan, but, sometimes the claim experience and things are a little bit different. They vary from company to company.
Yeah.
And then also maybe talk about like rate increases and what that's looked like historically. And there's also some headwinds with maybe the OCR thing that just came out. Male versus, you can't, underwrite male versus female, or
That's TBD, right?
Yeah.
Still, we still have our lawyers looking at that. I don't know if anybody knows what that means yet. We haven't gotten any guidance as far as
talk
we
about a
know.
curveball. Like everyone's,
Yeah.
I was joking.
By the way, the ACA's been around for 10 years, and you've been doing it wrong for 10 years. You've been out of compliance. I mean, that was a real. Nobody knew what to do with that.
Oh,
yeah. We're still looking at it. I don't know.
That was what we're referring to, the OCR thing from back like maybe 60 days ago. It was a
Right.
curveball out of nowhere, and they were
It
like,
fell out of the sky.
and it was because what it was is these organizations were exempted from that, and then suddenly for them to say, hey, you know what?
We're not.
We just decided suddenly that you're not exempted, and now you can't underwrite, basically, for lack of better words.
That will change the game entirely, of course.
It will.
entirely.
And so, but I think I've been trying to educate folks about that too, being like, that is still TBD, but if it goes through as is, I mean, obviously, that's going to affect premiums in a significant manner.
Sure.
It does, right?
Sure, yeah. I mean, when it fell out of the sky, a month or so ago, and we caught wind of it, I dove right in, being a Medicare nerd. So, my job is to make sure that I'm ahead of it. We're all ahead of it for our agents, so they can just focus on selling and doing what they do best and not keep up with all the compliance and minutia, and that's our job. But, yeah, you want to stay in front of it, especially with all the changes. We know about, all the changes with Inflation Reduction, and then, STM changes coming down the pike, and then boom, here comes another legislation with, ACA, kind of going after Medigap, as they like to call it in the comments. And so I dug in, I found the legislative papers, I did the old Control F so I could kind of knock down through it a bit, because it's like 1,000 pages long. I'm sure you read it as well.
I read all 1,300 plus the
God bless you.
400-page whatever addendum.
Yeah, I think I had to put on my stronger glasses for that one. But yeah, but in a
Stronger
nutshell,
drink too.
Yeah, for sure. It like you said, it can't create an earthquake overnight. Like you think of some states with like heavy populace of 65 plus, or Medicare in general, because there's obviously a large subset of population on Medicare under 65. It's too much of an earthquake overnight. And it's TBD. Like, is it going to be 6 months? Is it going to be 9 months? What's happening in the fall could change things again. We don't know. We don't have a crystal ball. What we do know, and at least what I surmised, is that they want to make things gender neutral, so gender neutral premiums for all. And then they want to create, as we know, by nature, I guess you could say MedSup is somewhat discriminatory just because it's a freestanding benefit. And in all states, it slightly looks different. There's a different flavor. So some states ask height, weight, tobacco. Some states ask height, weight, tobacco, depression meds.
Right.
There's obviously different mortality rates and actuarial tables for male versus female.
Right.
And that's the uniqueness of MedSup. Obviously, when we're turning 65 or new to Part B, we're open enrollment. We're going to be guaranteed a plan. Or if you're in a situation where you have a guaranteed issue, you're going to get a plan, no matter what the situation, which is awesome. Luckily, here in Utah and beyond, our rates are killer.
Right.
So that makes it very much more attainable for people.
I mean, you guys quote in the top 2 or 3 always, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much on rates.
We have a lot of levers that we like to put out there. This probably comes from our STM kind of roots, but you want to levers give you options and ways to build it. And we have different multiple discounts that we put out there. We give a 10% discount for annual pay, which is a really big win. I mean, look at high yield savings accounts that you get 4.25%. If you have customers with money and savings, that 10% discount is going to do better than 4.25%
sitting there
return and the whatever tax you have to pay on the gain on that. You need insurance for 12 months. Why not just do it there?
Locked in.
Right.
And you're locked in. We do a 12-month rate guarantee. So, that we have, that's a huge discount for us. The wearable discount of 5% is another big one, as long as you have an Apple Watch or a Fitbit or even your the health app on your phone can qualify. Yeah. That's 5% savings. And then roommate discounts, household discounts of 7%, dual household of 10%.
You're already at 15, now add 7, that's
25%. It's 25%.
So you can get your supplement any day of the month.
As long as currently, you can do it any day of the month. That could change down the line, but today, that's the way it is. Yeah.
Doing AEP, it's usually first of the month effective, just because of that time of year. And a lot of other carriers do first of month, kind of the MAPD model, I call it. But as of right now, we're any day effective. So whether it's underwritten, open enrollment, guaranteed issue,
which
it can
for
be.
a lot of
unique.
situations,
That's pretty cool.
really awesome. I think you guys are the only carrier that I'm aware of that
same
allows
day
that.
Does next day.
That does next day issue.
Signature and attestation and payment day before, effective the next day.
I really like that idea. The other of the next day issue on the med sups. Again, you guys are very competitive. Can we talk? I'm okay talking commissions. If you guys are okay talking commissions, I feel like commissions are pretty public, and you guys pay what we call like street rate agent commissions. Very, very reasonable, right?
Yeah, we do. Across the board, we do. Our short-term medical starts around, depends on the state. In Utah, it's a little lower because we have a different medical loss ratio here.
Sure.
But, in the high teens through the low 20s, generally. Other states, it goes up a little higher. Our accident plans start around 40%. It's
So let me add those short-term plans at that 18% street level commission. It's 3-year level commission.
they're all level, so you get it's a nice annuity.
I know, that's so nice.
We'll call it like an annuity. It can continue to pay for the 3 years. You can go and sell something else. All of our plans are any day effective date as well. That's worth mentioning. We're generally buy it today, get it tomorrow. No medical exam required, even on our final expense product. It's all pass fail.
And the bonuses you guys have running. Let's just talk even Utah's bonuses alone. On short-term medical is crazy good right now. Speak a little bit
thanks
about
for
that.
mentioning that. So
I was blown away when I saw the numbers yesterday.
If you can't tell, we want people to sell these products.
and you want to sell 3-year plans.
We're all in it to service our members, but like you said, when I'm growing up, I never said I wanted to be an FMO, right?
I never did. There was not a career track for that.
But there is still, I think, the younger generation coming into the business. I know we've joked about this before. They don't see the sexiness of being the insurance guy or gal, right? But the nobility of the business, and it's a darn good living too.
It is.
And you see this bonus will make you a big believer. It'll be very sexy too when you see the bonus.
For sure.
So a 3-year plan is $500 an app if you write 15 of them between now and the end of August. And that's going on right now for our STM, and if you attach rewrites count. So if you have a book of business and you want to extend it, we talk,
which is amazing that a rewrite counts towards that bonus.
We call it extending the runway, and if you think about, there's really not going to be another non-ACA option as good as what we have on the 3-year short-term plan. So it's going to be a pretty persistent piece of business. You're likely to keep it for 3 years, unless there's a major change in health and they want to jump on the marketplace, which they can always do. They've got 2 open enrollment periods to do that before the plan ends, no matter when they buy this.
Also on this bonus, you attach one of those plan enhancers or a dental product.
Right.
$50 for each one of those. So you add one a plan enhancer and a dental. There's $100 more, so that's $600.
And if a broker's listening, I'm good. I can do 3rd grade math. I'm sitting here doing it in my head and going, I can do 3rd grade math, and that's pretty lucrative between now and the end of August.
If you write $7,500 for 15 apps. That's not. Start adding those 2 other products.
Yep.
9,000, and that's just your bonus. That doesn't even include the commission.
And
that's the great part about it.
Yes. Isn't it on top of commission?
Yeah, it's a really good bonus we have. We're really happy to have it, and we do love the product and we really believe in it. So we just urge agents to call us if they have questions. We want to help you vet your client to make sure they're an appropriate fit, because the plan is not for everybody. I was always told when I started selling, don't tell them what it doesn't do, tell them what it does do.
Right.
But you have to tell people what this doesn't do. This is a product you have to explain. Look, if you have a dread disease, if you have ongoing medical conditions, if you have things that, if you have a surgery you need to do, you can't be on this plan. It's not for you. But if you don't have anything going on and you don't get a subsidy and you need the national network and you like your doctor and the centers of excellence that are there, and this plan could be just for you.
Let me add to that, Eric. You're looking forward, not backwards.
Yep.
So if you have pre-existing condition, we have a 12-month pre-ex on this product. So, but if you are worried about what's going to happen to you in the future, this is a product for your client.
Yeah.
This is the members. This is why you want to do some field underwriting. Ask why they're buying this insurance and see if it's a great fit. And we'll help you with that. You call us and we'll help.
Yeah, and one thing before, I mean, like as we start heading closer to the end and before we wrap and everything else, I think I would be remiss if we didn't talk a little bit about even the Allstate brand and name a little bit, because we haven't touched on it at all. But I think, you know, Allstate is one of those names that just about any person, any age, or any demographic is familiar with the branding of Allstate, right? Anywhere from you target younger consumers with, you know, Mayhem and those funny commercials, and then of course you have the old hand logo, and then you have the black gentleman that's, you know,
Pedro Serrano.
Yeah, with his
From Major League.
with his deep voice, I cannot mimic, but
Good hands.
yeah, absolutely. But you've had very strong branding and advertising for years, and I think that most consumers, there is something, of course, when you're going to go buy insurance and feel like I'm going to be protected and secure. I think even those NatGen products, like we were talking about, were great products. But then, of course, when it got acquired by Allstate and turned into an Allstate product, I think it brought a whole nother level of legitimacy to the products.
Yep.
So
A+ rating with AM Best. That's a really big deal to a lot of people. They see the confidence.
And one cool thing, because I've been with the company a little bit over a year now, like year and 3 months. And like I said, best group of people I've ever worked with in my career. And all of the all the legacy leadership from NatGen now to Allstate Health Solutions, they're all here.
Yep.
They're all still here. I mean, like one of our, we call him Uncle Charlie. He's one of our market presidents.
We love Charlie. I had so much fun with him.
Yeah. That's right, Vegas.
He had a great,
Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
his speaking engagement there was awesome.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
And
Love
like
him.
he talked about at Vegas, right, at Medicare, he's like, I've been in the industry for 38 years. I've had 6 different, logos on my polo. And he talked about all the changes coming down the pike with ACA, with Medicare, with STM. And one thing I took away is he said, you know what? We've always found a way to innovate. We've always found a way to change and keep moving forward. And that's one great thing about the organization. It wasn't like Allstate came in, acquired this little engine that can, and then engulfed it, rebranded it, and then just shoved everyone out to pasture. Like, so all the people that I've met just in over a year's time now are all awesome leadership. Legacies, like Eric's father used to work for one of our previous few companies.
Assurant Health, if you remember them. He worked for them.
He's got a lot of footsteps to follow.
No doubt.
But we're in just an awesome leadership team. So when you see all that legacy for all these years that have carried on through all these companies up to NatGen, American Heritage Life, NHIC, now all the umbrella of Allstate Health. And Mayhem in Chicago doesn't pull puppet strings on us too much, So we kind of operate in this corner of the organization, and we produce and we do our own thing.
They let us do what we do.
But, beyond, like I always say, beyond good hands and A+ and AM Best and deep pockets and all those resources, it's all about service and care before product. And those were a lot of things that lured me into coming to the company, because it's that culture, which we know is unfortunately dying on the vine. And even all our tech team, our customer service, our agent support is all domestic, so
good for you guys. That's
awesome.
It's
yeah,
awesome.
awesome team of people.
Yeah, no, that's
It's
cool.
all about, again, service after the sale, right? As cliche as it is. And coach speak, right? Availability is the best ability.
I say that all the time.
And that's what,
And
that's
you're
what-
always adding product.
Yeah.
I mean, breaking news, you guys are adding final expense in Utah, and what are the other states that it's going on July 1st?
A lot of states.
Yeah, so officially tomorrow, final expense launches in Utah. So we're in 26 states currently today.
Cool.
6 more added tomorrow. So we got
32
Utah,
states.
Yep, 32.
Idaho, Nevada, New Jersey, West Virginia, and Colorado.
Up
So
to
it's super-
$50,000.
So you're from Florida.
to
You have to
50,000.
say Nevada
That's
if you're
right.
from the west side.
Nevada.
If you
Nevada.
say, just so you know, if you go to Nevada and say Nevada,
They'll yell at you.
they're like, "Where the hell are you from?"
They'll yell at you. They will yell at you.
And no phone exam.
Colorado
on these
too.
final
Same.
exams,
Say the one.
correct?
Colorado.
What's that?
Colorado.
No phone
You just-
exam.
you can't say
No.
Colorado.
No, you can't.
No,
even
all
if you're-
field underwriting. So very simplified issue. ABC 1, 2, 3 level and graded plans. Like you mentioned earlier, level plan 2,500 to 50K, riding age of 50 to 80. Also, our level plan includes a lot of great living benefits like Allstate Identity Protect Premier, and we have our Active Fit Direct gym membership, which is also on our Med Sup, $28 a month. They can go to any gym they want. And we love the grandchild rider, we call it. Or I call it the Utah rider, but the grandchild rider.
There's plenty of them around
So
here.
it's technically a child or grandchild rider. So if you have people that are a little late to the birthing game, around 50-ish, and they have children 30 days to 17 years old at time of writing, they can add the child or grandchild to the policy. And then they can add 5 more, and 5 more, and 5 more.
No
As long
charge.
as they add one at time
It's a perfect
of
policy
enrollment.
for Utah.
And they get, exactly. We've been waiting, believe me.
I'm just
See.
excited you guys don't do phone interviews. I think
Yeah.
I think it's great for agents,
Yep.
allowing
Field
them to get
underwriting,
more products.
simplified
to their
issue.
client. Yep.
Absolutely. We have a nice chart that guides them through it. It's the same. It's all e-enrollment platform on our quote and enrolling, so no big stacks of paper pushing through, no big faxes and all that stuff, archaic methods. And, the grandchild rider is awesome, too, because it gives each grandchild 5K of term life. And it's not so much about that term from 30 days to 17 years of age. It's the gift of insurability, the legacy planning, the memorial fund. So when they age out from 18 to 26, then they can buy up the policy to 10K of whole life with no medical.
Correct.
So the gift of
Convertibility.
insurability.
It's like
which is
even,
awesome.
even better
And
than the
commissions
Gerber
are
grow up
great
and live
with this
better.
policy
Yes,
for agents,
absolutely.
yes.
100% commissions out of the gate first year, which most life products, as we know, are more front loaded.
Right.
But then, it still pays a nice chunk of commission for the life of the policy. Yeah. Super, super fun
I'm
plan.
excited
Going
it's
to be a
coming
hot
here.
seller.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think it's just getting people past the morbidity of the conversation. And once they can grasp how to position it, again, not so much talking about a burial fund. Let's talk about your legacy,
Right.
And then it just creates a whole different conversation, a different feel.
It's more positive.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Well, and it's also that, like, if you really care for your loved ones, you got to figure out and navigate that
Yeah.
too, right? So, no, it's, I think we've given people so many reasons. Like, I hope people who are listening and watching know that they can sense our excitement. I really wasn't, kidding when I said before we were having such a good banter conversation before this. I was like, okay, we got to like start rolling and start this podcast. But, when we really get into it and start talking about, everything under 65 and the ancillaries and the STM and the over 65 and now the final expense. And the other great thing we like is you get one writing number for those products, and it's not 17 different appointments for every single product. We're really trying to convey to agents that it's nice to be able to have that one writing number and have exposure to so many different competitive products that they can write. I mean, that's something that, thank you very much for making that very easy. That's just another, we're actually truly very excited about the whole portfolio in general.
And we're happy to hear it, and we're very available to help and with the training. And anybody who's interested and has questions, reach out to any of us, please. We're always looking to hear from agents and hear what's going on and what the concerns are. And we take your concerns and bring them to home office. We're really close to the product people, the claims people, the actuaries. We give them lots of feedback, and they listen to us because we know we're productive with what we do as a company with this business model, the model of working brokerage generally. We have call centers we work with as well, but the relationship, again, with the agent and the client is always number one, and that's what keeps us all in business.
Yep. Well, so before we wrap, I forgot I didn't tell people to like and subscribe and do all the things, to comment, to tell me I'm wrong or that we suck or whatever, the trolls to come out and comment. But feel free, please like and subscribe because, Matt, my guy Matt's telling me here, 92% of people who listen are not subscribers. So we're now up to 8% of people who actually subscribe. So it's awesome.
And if you're interested in getting contracted with Allstate, Eric is getting us a link that we will be
We'll
attaching
put
to the
it,
podcast.
yes. So on this episode, we are going to have a link. So if you've heard, this podcast and want this in your selling portfolio, which we encourage you to have, definitely there will be a link for brokers to contract. And I think we'll also be setting up recurring trainings, which you guys have been awesome about, communication, working with Jeff and scheduling those ongoing trainings. We'll have a few more that we schedule, and we'll put a link on there too that, agents, we don't care. We're pretty much, we tell everybody we're agnostic. We don't care if you're aligned with our organization, you're not with our organization, you can come on the training. That's just kind of like at our core of what we do. We train, we teach, we empower brokers and agents. We don't care who you're with. We'll train you, we'll teach you. So
That's really great.
Feel free to hop on.
And don't forget that one-on-one training. So we will give every agent one-on-one training.
Okay. And yes,
Took the words out of my mouth.
and Matt's reminding me we got to over 3,000 subscribers, and I think most of them in the last 30 days. So
Fantastic.
Amazing.
a lot of growth.
Fantastic.
So thank you very much. We very much appreciate it for everybody
Hey,
listening.
thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
So
Thanks for
this
coming,
is
guys.
this has been so much fun. Seriously,
Dan, thanks, Jeff.
we know that it's a sacrifice too when you all are away from family and traveling, and the commitment and the partnership. So we really do want to tell you thank you very much.
Thank you.
This is amazing. Great facility. You guys are an awesome agency, and we're stoked to keep building on the partnership.
Cool.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks again.
That's a wrap.
Agent Boost.